broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Keep on loving you. Oh yeah! Oh, we had to start out with something new from the episode this week. Hey guys, welcome back to Wet Hot American Summer. Whoa, I'm a little lost tonight. Crazy.
Who are you?
I don't know. I'm about to say I am episode 6 is what I about said. Yeah. Wow. All right. It is episode 6 called Electro City. I am JJ Jurgens, and you can follow me at JJ Jurgens on Twitter. And I'm joined here tonight by
Hayley Clover. I remembered my name.
Good job.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Hayley Clover.
Woohoo! All right. Well, so lots of stuff happened in this episode. I can't believe we're already at episode 6, and we only have 8 to go. It's gone way too quickly.
Really, it has. I know that's what happens when you have these Netflix episodes, and they're only 28 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll grace us with hour-long episodes.
I hope so.
Next season.
Yeah, I think, yes, they could. They definitely could. I mean, there's so much good stuff that they could drag it out a little bit longer for us.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, let's start out with talking about the trial. So we had the big trial in this episode.
Oh, yes.
So
the realistic trial.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, really, really funny. I really enjoyed watching it because I thought Michael Cera played his part really well, and I just loved how he asked one question and the judge, told him he couldn't ask it, and then he was like, "I can't do this. Like I'm done. I can't do this," and he just ran out after one question.
Yeah,
and it was funny because you were like, "Oh God, I knew this was gonna go bad."
Yeah,
and then you see the that funny guy that in the movie can do all that stuff with the wind, the weird guy that everyone's always like, what the hell is that kid doing? Brings them that CD, but it's literally like a blank black piece of paper, and he's like, this is all the evidence we need. And he takes it in and says that he has evidence, and the judge is like, oh, new evidence, well, I'll allow it. It was just all ridiculous.
Yeah, and again, I know we've talked about this before, but even down to the judge, I love how every single character can just play the ridiculous, the crazy stuff so well. It's like you just totally of course, you buy the fact that yes, he sees that and that's all he needed, and in the case,
right. I mean, the best part is even looking at that thing, it doesn't say anything, it doesn't prove anything. You're supposed to watch it, and he's like, this is all we need. Zenstar, you must clean up all of the sludge.
Yeah, there's no images, there's no nothing on there.
Literally
like you said,
nothing.
Just
and the trial is 5 minutes, and it's all happened in one day, and it's just okay, but that's what makes it so funny.
Yeah.
And then after, when the one guy from Zenstar, he's on his iPhone saying, oh, they don't know who they're messing with or whatever, but it's hilarious when he comes over and he's like, what's in your hand? He doesn't even know what an iPhone is.
Yeah.
Just because of the time period, which is so funny because it's are they supposed to be playing people in the 70s, or are they modern day and they're just weird? It's I always kind of assumed they were supposed to be in the 70s, but I guess not.
Yeah, I thought so too, but
now that they threw in an iPhone, I guess not.
I think it could just be another funny thing to be
means nothing.
Yeah. It's just why not put it in there?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So
trial is funny and they win, except for what happens after.
Yeah,
was a bit crazy. They call in the Falcon.
And he starts
killing people. Yeah, I guess it didn't surprise me. I don't know, but I was like, "What? Why? No!" I liked Michael Cera. I was like, "No!" And he finally was. He was becoming a famous lawyer. They were like, "What are you gonna do now?" And you have all of this potential and talent because he did that. This one case. And then he dies.
And I actually was surprised by it. I mean, I especially maybe too because we see him trying to shoot them in previous episodes and he can't hit anything, you know?
Right.
So
That's very true for it to actually finally happen to someone.
And for him to nail people, I mean, he got Greg right in the head too.
But then again, doesn't kill Beth.
Yeah.
You know, still kind of does that thing, and then she's like, whoa, and he doesn't kill her.
Yeah.
So, but you're absolutely right.
Because we do like to talk about the stupid lines that we like to. I did like when Michael, character Jib, you said, I'm old enough to take a big fat shit on your face. Like when he said, you're not old enough to, you're like, right. It's just stupid. Funny.
Right. Well, it's hilarious because the guy's like, well played.
Yeah.
He like takes it like, damn it.
Yeah. They had really good banter back and forth, those two, I thought.
They were funny.
Yeah.
Really funny. Especially after when he wins the case and he's like, hey, we have an open spot in our foursome for golf this week. And he's like, sorry, I've already got something planned. And he just goes, well played.
Yeah.
Well played. Yeah, they were really funny.
Yeah, they were played. Yeah, they were good with each other.
Well played. Well played.
Anything else on the trial?
No, I mean, it was just, one of those ridiculous you watch and you're like, this is ridiculous. Ha ha. And then, and then it keeps going.
Yeah. Another ridiculous thing. So we have Gail and Jeff, who are now the happy newlyweds, but not happy for very long. So they decide to already get a divorce because she realizes she just doesn't know him.
Right, but this is I'm pretty sure this is the same episode when she finally sees Jurgensen again. I literally do this every week. I'm so sorry.
Jonas Jurgensen.
Yeah. Gene Jenkinson. So Gene, she finally sees Gene again. And he's like, so, still doing the craft thing? Yep. And she's like, yep, still doing the craft thing. Because she introduces him, this is Jeff, my husband. And he's like, yeah, I met you earlier at the wedding. Yeah. Like, it was like 10 minutes ago. Right. And they like, still doing the craft thing? Like, yeah, that was earlier today. Like, still doing it. I love that. I was laughing really, really hard. But yeah, they break up. Gail decides that she hardly knew Gene and she really didn't know Jeff and that it probably wasn't going to work out. But that they had never christened the wedding, so they were going to christen the breakup.
Yes. Yeah. So, all good because now they get to experience their breakup sex.
Yep. There you go. Like, just the whole situation. Yeah, even, like, him. It is funny, though, and it's always nice when you finally do see the almost the ending to like the storyline from the movie. So you're like, oh, that's why that character did that and that or whatever. I mean, you'll find out the end of Gail's story, actually the last episode. But, getting closer to why she is the way she is in the movie, which is always fun to see.
Yeah.
Same with Gene.
It definitely makes me want to, once we wrap up the 8 episodes here too, to go back now and watch the movie again. It's like I watched it before we started this, but now just seeing how they've made the pieces, like you said, fall into place and set things up, it's like now I want to do that again.
Right, and watch it in the opposite order and see how different it is. Because I know there's a lot of people, and I don't know how many of you watched it the opposite way, where you've watched these episodes first and then watched the movie, because it would feel completely different because you don't know the characters yet, and so you're learning them this way, and then you'll see them, the day after. Yeah. Whereas we all know them before, and now we're getting a look in the past, which is, I think, fun. Yeah,
I do too. I think both ways would be a fun way to watch. I've had coworkers ask me that too. Well, do I need to watch the movie before I watch the show? And I'm like, actually, I think you're fine. But either way, it's going to be fun and a great experience to see how the characters develop.
I think watching the movie first is a good warm up to the kind of humor that the show is, though. Like, I feel like you'd get it more. It's true. If you watch that first, and then because you get a little more of it at once.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. And just the way they've written it, I feel like they want you to watch, it's meant to be that you've seen the movie and then the show. But yeah, you're totally right. I mean, it's funny either way. Yeah. It's ridiculous either way. So
exactly. Well, in this episode, one of my favorite characters is back again, so we get to see more of Eric.
Yes.
So we see Lindsay has helped him find his muse again. Like, the music is back. Like she, helps him. They have hits her hand on his on the slider. The magic happens.
Yeah. Yes. And she is really excited, and he's really excited. He's like, "Oh my God, Lindsay, you did it!" Like, it's hilarious that she writes for a newspaper or magazine or whatever, and she knows how to format music and whatever. But she realizes that she's becoming the story, or getting a little close to her subjects.
Yes, she's questioning her journalistic integrity, and
which is what her boss told her not to do. Just do not get too close to the story.
Yeah.
So she has to bail.
Which is too bad, because I kind of wanted to see more of her.
Do you think
Eric.
There's going to be more of those two? Well, I guess we can't give any predictions.
And now
since we've seen the entire. I can't wait for the last episode when we can finally talk about everything that's happened.
Well, I hadn't watched the last until finally this long weekend. Then too, I was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna watch all the next 3.
Yeah, and I had said to JJ earlier that they definitely leave it open, so you'll have to keep watching, and then we can talk about it a little more on the finale.
Yes, definitely. Well, another thing that you're going to have to keep watching is, so remember this dance battle casting that we were telling you about a few months ago? So it started with Maria Menounos and Derek and Julianne Hough, and they were doing these family dance battles like 2 years ago on Instagram.
So much fun.
So I'm sure a lot of you guys saw them. They were all over Instagram and Twitter. Well, they were so much fun. So now they're letting it's America's chance to dance. So there has been 8 families that have been selected to compete and get to do their own dance battle. So they're coming to LA. So it's so cool. Yeah, it's going to be epic. So you guys should all check this out.
Yeah, and they've created an entire show around it now, right?
Yeah, a whole show. It's going to be September 14th, right after Dancing with the Stars at 10 p.m. It's going to be on ABC.
Awesome.
It's Monday nights. So set your DVR. The name of the show is Dance Battle America. So it's sure to be funny, entertaining.
My next dance.
Yeah.
Little Beyonce action.
All right. Well, let's see. We'll see one on the finale of this show.
Yes, I'll start choreographing after this episode.
Get to work.
Yeah. Yeah, that should be fun. They're fun.
Yeah.
And I've watched all of their dance battles online, and they're funny.
Yeah. They're starting to show some little behind the scenes stuff on Twitter and Instagram now, if you want to start following now as well. Yeah. Well, speaking of another grand performance, so we had finally we get to see the performance happen.
Performance of a lifetime.
Electro City. Talk about epic.
Yeah, this actually... I love the way you just said that. This may actually have been one of my favorite episodes of the season so far. I've really liked them all, but I loved this musical number because you see them getting yelled at all season because they suck and whatever, and then they put on this performance, and like the dancing in the background's choreographed to a T, and it's so good, and like it's hilarious, and Paul Rudd
it was awesome.
It's just so good. Like, he's just so good. And you don't really realize that he's like the main, like he's the lead in this musical. You know that he's the lead, on side of Katie, but the whole thing is about him. Yeah. Like, they only show the scenes like he's directly in, and their dance at the end when he lifts her up. It's just amazing. And I think it's so funny that Kristen Wiig is watching from across the lake through binoculars. And she's like, Electro. That was one of my favorite lines. Electric City. Such an unfair place to live. I know. That she always does that face.
Yeah. You did that very well. Nice job.
Thank you. I love her. I want to be her.
Yeah, I agree. She's not in. I would have loved to have seen more of her during this series.
But she's like perfect because they tease you a little bit with these like big actors, these big name actors, and she's just in enough and like does just the little funniest things that you're like, God, like how she puts her lipstick on every time and she eats it or like licks it every time to be sexual, but she's like literally puts the entire thing in her mouth. She's hilarious.
And she just kind of comes in and like stirs the pot a little bit, I like it.
She's great.
Yeah. So when we get Blake getting a little bit jealous this time too, because he's watching and seeing Andy and Katie kiss.
And once they finally do kiss, they realize like, wasn't just a on-stage kiss. They like went for it, started full on making out.
What was fun too is to kind of see their battle back and forth, because while they're up on stage at first, they're like saying mean things, but you know, and
they're
she's
singing
like,
and talking shit to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think what makes that performance too is the reactions in the audience. And then you've got Gene Jenkinson in the back. He knows every word to every song, and he's singing the entire thing, and he's like really acting out everything and throwing his popcorn everywhere.
And JJ's just like,
oh, he's got the best reactions out of the entire cast, hands down. Like if he had to get one of our paper plate awards at the end of the year. It's the best reactions.
Yeah, I agree.
For like for an area that doesn't really call for a giant action.
Totally.
It's just like always. But yeah, love him.
Yeah, it definitely like the way they built that performance up quite well. Like it paid off
for sure.
Got everything we needed out of that one.
Yeah, well, and the Zoot suit.
Yes.
Those two finally get together.
Yeah, so Ben and Susie confess to each other that they both have been I love when they're going to say it at the same time.
So what is the actual word that they say? Okay, say who at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Who?
Yeah.
Whatever they said. No, okay, no, actually say now who.
Or with whom, I think it was, or something. Yeah, with whom.
Now, actually, on 3, say who you did it with.
And she's like, oh, but then she is actually little stung when he says that, because that he's actually in love with him, because she has been trying to get like the slightest kiss or the slightest show of affection, but she's been done this, she's been tucked up here, like everything. So I felt a little sorry for her at that moment.
She was definitely sad until he was like, I think I'm in love with him, and then she was kind of like, okay, like, all right, what am I gonna do about it? And those two are starting to live happily ever after. And
then, but she was propositioned by Claude, who gives her an offer to go to New York City with her, which again, she has to remind him that it's highly inappropriate for her to be doing something like that.
Yeah, because she's 16.
Yeah. Details.
Which you totally forget.
Yeah.
I always forget their ages because they all look 40 plus. And she's 16. And then the best line, though, is when she's like, I just know that you'll make another underage girl happy someday.
I love that one, too.
All right. Yeah. And he's like, thank you for saying that.
Yeah. Yeah,
he's proud by that comment.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I of course I love that's how it happened, but because of those two, I love both of those two actors so much that I want to see them like get together, just because I think it just would be crazy. Like, I can't just, I mean, they would just be nuts together, the things they would do and say, and so it's like I want more of that, but yeah, no, she's 16.
Well, what's fun too about this show is if they do at a second season, they've had all of these big actors that have come on and played little parts that would be good for one season. Like they could open it up and have completely new storylines with new big actors just to keep it really exciting and draw more people in. And I think, I would guess that's probably what they're going to do, and I hope that's what they do, because it's fun to see all, like, some of your favorite actors and actresses come in for these little parts. You haven't heard any rumors or anything?
I haven't. Yeah, I've been looking too. Let us know if you guys have. I've been trying to Google and try to find out.
That, I mean, gosh, even this one, it didn't sound like they started taping until like, maybe 6 months ahead of when it actually came out.
So yeah, I'm sure they would crank through it again really quickly.
Yeah. It seems like that's kind of how they'll have to do it because of the cast just being, those stars' schedules have to be, crazy and all different. And they all taped in like one day.
Yeah. So, but I'm sure, I mean, if you got all those people before, I'm sure he could get, like you said, open it up to so many new ones too that would just want a chance to be a part of it. So it'd be so much fun.
I would imagine half of them are friends just outside of, so they're like, come on, get this person to come in, this will be fun, let's do this with whoever. But I mean, God, there's some big names, like even John Hamm, tiny part, huge star, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see. We should start tweeting and tell them who we want.
I know, we should. You guys start doing that too.
Who would you like to see? Who would you like to see? If you had to pick one actor come on to play like a funny role.
I mean, just because he's my favorite of all time. I want Adam Sandler.
Oh, yeah. And he could use something positive.
I know.
Poor guy,
he could.
Every single movie has flopped that he's made within like the last 5 years.
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, yes. Everybody loves to hate on him. And
No, because my favorite movie of all time is Billy Madison. I do not hate Adam Sandler. I would love it if his movies were still good, but his movies...
I wasn't saying you were. I'm saying the critics, always love to just pan every single thing that he does. Yeah, I know.
Adam Sandler was...
Wedding Singer is my favorite. But,
oh my God. Like Happy Gilmore. We could literally go on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he would be fun.
Yeah. Who would you like to see?
He would be a lot of fun. Oh, goodness. I don't know. I'd have to think about that one. I have a lot of, I have, some of my favorite actors are in such serious roles, and, I don't know if I could ever see him doing a comedy.
But that's what would be funny, I think.
Right now I'm watching House of Cards, and I love Kevin Spacey. Yeah. And he probably could get on there and be some kind of, really funny, serious guy,
like
but
a
really
dick
funny.
Counselor, Right.
And he, would be that kind of age where he looks really old.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I could see him sporting some, the camp shorts.
Yeah,
and,
it would just be really funny. Really funny. And I'd pretty much be happy with anyone. Or, Owen Wilson, I think would be really perfect for the show.
I agree. I like both of those.
Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
Just for a little part here.
Ben Stiller.
No? All right. Agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Fokker.
But I think that was anything else from this episode. Let me check real quick. But
I know I didn't have time today to rewatch it, so I had watched it last week. But I don't think so. Short. I mean, these are such short shows.
I think those were most of them.
Did you have any other favorite lines that you wrote down?
I just like that they brought back your favorite fart moment again, at the beginning.
Always love a good fart joke.
Andy says again to Katie, "Remember how I farted on you and you fell in love with me?"
Yeah.
Which was just. And what do you have for dinner up in the clouds? He was just teasing her, trying to get her to laugh.
Is the next episode when they have the after party for the counselors after the actual?
I think so.
Performance.
Yeah.
So there's some really good funny moments for next week too.
Yeah.
So watch it and stay tuned.
Yep, I think. Yep. That's all I had too. All right. Yeah. Well, where can everybody follow you at?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Hayley Clover.
And you can follow me at JJ Jurgens on Twitter, JurgensJJ on Instagram, and at TomGirl.tv. So only 2 more left. We'll see you again next week. We'll try to get some hosts. Let's try to get some guests in here
and
for
our
you.
other hosts.
Yeah, and our other hosts. Yeah, for the next 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So, all right. See you next week.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.